What's up, y'all? T-Money here. We're back with another video. What's been going on, people? So I'm not going to be on video today. We're just going to be right here on audio, and I will have some slides because I honestly don't feel like being out here today. Listen, y'all, it's been a lot this week. Listen. Na hena bo rona go re hle kene ya utlwang go re e kene ka hare ka yo, this is crazy to me. Like, I never thought in my entire life, in my entire 50 years of living, okay, I'm being sarcastic, in my entire years of living, I would witness anything like this, okay, happening in Lesotho. As much as everything else, it's a highlight. Like, we don't see any developments. We don't see, like, you know, things coming up and all of that good stuff. We're not seeing any of that. We're seeing the momentum. We're seeing all of this stories picking up and all of that. But are we really seeing the change, though? Are we seeing the change? Because I feel like we're not seeing the change. Where is the change? Can we see the change? Can we see some progress or anything like that? But let me tell you, this week, something that had a lot of people in feelings happened today. Well, actually this week, not today, this week. This has to do with the Starlink. Starlink. Now, Starlink is being referred to Starlink Lesotho PTY. You're fucking kidding me. You must be out of your mind right now. You must be out of your mind. Let me tell you why a lot of people are mad right now that Starlink or Lesotho has decided to sign up with Starlink, okay? South Africa, first of all, this guy had proposed to have this project run in South Africa. South Africa is a developed country. It's not a developing country. It's developed, okay? He had proposed to have this project go on in South Africa. I mean, it's already running at some couple of countries in Africa, and then he wanted this in South Africa as well. So South Africa, yeah, we don't have a problem. We don't have a problem, but we just want a 30% share of whatever you got going on. If you're going to have this Starlink situation situated in our country, this is what we need from you. Okay, this is South Africa. Everything is based upon, you know what I'm saying, repatriation and all of that. There's a BEE situation going on here. So, company na how. You know what I'm saying? Like a 30% ownership of Starlink South Africa, PTY. So that's the only way this can have. So Kahayana, he's greedy, okay? He's greedy. He's like, okay, that's not happening. I'm not giving 30% of my company to this BEE situation that y'all got going on in this country. I'm not part of that. I'm all against that. You already know. You've seen what happened with Doge in the US. So like he's not all of that. So it's like, listen, I lose you. There's so many countries in this world. I can go have this in Swaziland. I can go have this in Lesotho. I can go have this. The list goes on and on and on. And guess what happened? Lesotho Communications Authority had just approved the license to operate the satellite link network to provide satellite internet services within Lesotho. Okay, they just approved the Starlink application to operate and provide mass internet to Lesotho citizens. What does this mean to the MTN? What does this mean to, not MTN, Vodacom, Econet? And these are two major network companies in Lesotho. This is going to be tough. I want to see this play out because this is not going to make people happy. When I tell you the mans at the Vodacom, the mans at Econet, the mans at, everyone is pissed. Everyone is pissed at this moment. And let me tell you, when these get into effect, the thing is about South Africa, they don't understand the situation in Lesotho. Lesotho at this moment, they're just kissing ass. Like, there's really nothing out of this. And one of the reasons this is happening, this is because Lesotho was among one of the countries that got hit with the high tariffs. In the whole world, Lesotho tariffs were bumped to 50%. And no country in the world had that kind of tariffs. So people are saying that after the attempt to send people over to the US to communicate with the administration here, the whole situation did not work. And now Lesotho is trying by all means to have this, to have this go on. And people just don't understand how Basotho live. Basotho, re sotlehile Lesotho. Re sotlehile Lesotho. And the thing is, a lot of people in South Africa will never understand the situation. Like, you guys, you will never understand. And we're not even getting help from you. We're not even getting help from South Africa. Like, do you know how many Basotho gets deported from South Africa and this has nothing to do with deportation. This has nothing to do with all of that. But you guys can clearly see the struggle. What does that mean now when the Starlink is fully operational in Lesotho? Obviously, it's going to be cheaper than Econet. It's going to be cheaper than freaking Vodacom. And what does that mean? That means a lot of people will start having jobs. A lot of US companies, they hire from abroad. I can set up my own customer service customer service office in my freaking house within fully working internet, not expensive, cheap as hell. I can, we're going to have a lot of creators. We're going to have a lot of people working from home because there's no struggle with the internet. People in the rural areas will have internet. People everywhere, people will be on the internet. But does this actually pose a security issue? This is what people are saying allegedly when they compare Lesotho with the situation that happened in Ukraine and all of that and all of that. It's, it's a whole shebang of situations that people are really thinking that this is going to happen. I feel like, they're saying that it poses a risk to South Africa because right now, whoever person is targeting Mzansi, Lesotho Mzansi, so that poses a risk. And okay, well, if that poses a risk, then give us something. Ritu saying, give us a way to have MTN in Lesotho with the cheaper prices, the way in South Africa. Like, what are you guys talking about? Listen, I am all for this, but I need some understanding. I might not be well advanced educated when it comes to all these network situations and all of that, but a typical Lesotho person who is poor like me, who does not have any general information when it comes to IT and all of that, I see this as an advantage. I don't care what it does to your country. I don't care what it does to, all I want to see is the progress. All I want to see is login, go on the internet, no lagging, nothing, everything working fine. So people just don't understand it. They are putting this, they are trying to compare it with what happened in other countries. This poses a risk and all of that. Well, this is a letter from the Lesotho Communications Authority. They officially published a freaking PSA to the public. Listen, let me tell you, because a few days before this, they were denying all these allegations because it was already circulating on the internet that this is going to happen. But they went in the parliament and they kind of denied everything. It was a lot going on with them accepting the deportees, with this as well. They were pretty much saying no. And then 2 days later, boom, everything came out. Well, LCA is pleased to inform all the stakeholders and members of the public that the board of directors has resolved to grant the license Starlink Lesotho Pty Ltd to operate Starlink satellite network and provide satellite internet services within Lesotho. The landmark decision marks a significant step forward in the country's digital transformation and underscores the authorities' unwavering commitment to enabling a competitive, transparent, and forward-looking communication sector that fuels economy, growth, and fosters innovation. Basotho will recall that Starlink submitted an application back in April 24. That was fast. Whoa, that was fast. Application was submitted in April 2024, and he got approved a day later. No, y'all be specific. Y'all really be specific, because we really want to know what day in April and what day was that approved. What did y'all consider? Did y'all do some investigation, or y'all just say, oh, here's an application, approve? Did y'all have somebody go through the lawyer and scrutinize everything on there? What is going on? Are we being sold or what? Well, at the time, the authority recognized that its existing licensing and clarification framework required enhancement and adequately accommodate low Earth orbit satellite technology. This realization prompted the comprehensive review of the applicable regulations, and this included a period of public consultations. Now, I don't agree with that. Y'all did not have 15 days to do a comprehensive study and review about this. No, that's a lie. All stakeholders who submitted commitments were invited for in-person. Who are these stakeholders? Was there a bid, a public bid, or a bid was out there for like 1 day, and then after 1 day it was, all done? Well, like just for the sake of putting it out to the public? Call for bidders. Did Vodacom did not win the tender? Well, all right. All stakeholders who submitted comments were invited for in-person engagements. In keeping with the authorities' belief that the dialogue enriches understanding and ensures that the public input meaningfully considered. The reverse regulatory framework was gazetted on 31st of January 2025, paving the way for the formal processing of Starlink's application. A second round of public consultations then followed, which were concluded on the 20th of March 2025. Okay. This does not make sense, because if you're going to tell me that a second round of public consultations followed, which were concluded on the 20th of March 2025. So they were concluded come March 2025 before Starlink sent the application. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all be doing these things already knowing that who y'all gonna give tenders to. This is why I'm confused. Why waste money and do all these consultations? So the thing 2025, and this guy out of the blue, come March 2025, and this guy out of the blue, late. Didn't come March late, and now it's like April. Well, it was 2024. I'm wrong. 2024, not 2025. Okay, scratch that. All comments received were shared with Starlink Lesotho, which responded to each submission. The authority then compiled a comprehensive report that was submitted to the board for final deliberation. The approval of the license clears the path for the authority to finalize the terms and conditions under the Starlink Lesotho will provide a satellite internet services to individuals and businesses across Lesotho. The license shall be valid for a period of 10 years. The authority expresses its sincere appreciation to all stakeholders and members of whatever. So there you have it. And people were going in on the comments. People are not buying this. I'm going to read some of the comments that came from the people in the South, okay? The people in the South were hammering. The people in the South were not here to play around. The people in the South, they were chewing Basotho. Like they were not playing. You hear me? They went, let me, where is it? Where is this? I cannot find this. Where is this? Listen, y'all, what's going on? I cannot find this. I cannot find this. Okay, so there it is. People in the comments, back a bad move for back. I don't want to call that man's name. Some people are actually positive. They're saying this is not a bad move, and they don't understand why is this a problem. The problem is that some South Africans use emotions, not logic. South African doesn't want other countries to interfere in their business, so they shouldn't interfere in other countries' businesses as well. The sooner you guys make peace with the fact that Lesotho is independent, the better. We don't need your permission to decide. Lesotho is a country, not a South African province. If your neighbor doesn't give you enough attention to go and back, oh, wait. If your neighbor doesn't give you enough attention, go and back it to his enemy. Oh, that one was tough. For how long? For how long? Okay, I don't know that English. Lesotho seriously will compromise SA. We need, no. South Africa think they know too much. They should leave Lesotho alone and make its own decisions. This has nothing to do with them. They are just everywhere else. They should back off. We have nothing to do with Lesotho as Africans. You're right. Can we invade Lesotho and make it our province? Good luck. If Starlink is going to create jobs for Lesotho, then there isn't a problem. Well, I honestly do not think it's a bad move. In fact, it's just a start of greater things. A bad move is not trying to reach out to Elon. This man could uplift so many South Africans if only leaders could humble. I don't know about that. Lesotho is going to give South Africa problem. Watch and see. This guy and the US want to use the Starlink for purposes. I'm not saying that. No, that's not me. Lesotho, there a mountain called Tabanantlengane, which is the biggest. Oh, listen, I don't want to read that. We know that's unclear. No, I'm not reading that. Bad move for who? You guys are forgetting that this guy belongs to Africa. Yeah, we know that. This is said to be a tool used to spy at other nations. Whatever it brings. Ooh. We have been sold alive. Basu to America. Ooh. Basotho don't know the reason behind the Mara retiring. They will learn the hard way. Raw jealousy. Ooh. Lesotho, leave us alone. Do South Africans own Lesotho? No, they don't. They must work on their load shedding issue and leave Lesotho alone. Lesotho is a state-owned country, and so they should back off. Who asked for your opinion? Okay, so it's a bunch of mixed comments here, and I wanted to just read them out loud to you, but listen, it's a lot. In the midst of that, United States has decided that it's going to shut off the U.S. embassy in Lesotho. Say there's not going to be an embassy. But honestly, if you really think about it, what was that embassy actually doing in Lesotho apart from doing, the scholarships, all this Mandela Bright scholarships and all of that? I know that actually helped a lot of Lesotho in terms of, helping them to come on the other side of the world, linking them up with US and all of that. But when it comes to things like visas and all that, a lot of people are already going to Joburg. A lot of people are already going to Durban. A lot of people go to Durban because, the moment, pre-COVID, the embassy was already closed. Pre-COVID, the embassy was already closed. It was only offering the services for American citizens. That's it. And maybe like minimal services, honestly. So when they are trying to cut the cost, when they look at these embassies that are really they don't have a lot of people coming into the USA. They don't have a lot of Lesotho spending money in the US. There's their relationship that Lesotho has with the US is not that of a bigger deal, and it's easy to cut. They can just consolidate the services and be like, listen, Lesotho, we don't got much going on in there. We don't even know why we're existing there. So let's just consolidate this Lesotho embassy Lesotho can always go to South Africa regardless. You know, Lesotho is already an island in South Africa, so they're already getting services in South Africa. So, like, make it make sense. In other words, I mean, I agree with the move. I'm not gonna lie, even though I have my family as well that, you know, might need to go to the embassy at some point, but when you really think about it, I'm not mad at the whole situation, and I was actually mad at the fact that they closed it pre-COVID, and then they made an official announcement that they no longer gonna offer certain visa services. Then people would have to travel over 360 miles across the border and go to South Africa to get visas in South Africa. So it was like, what is this? Like, why are y'all even there? You know what I mean? So I kind of agree with this. I know they had a lot of Basotho working at the embassy. You know, they might be losing the jobs now, of which is really sad when you know. But I mean, it is what it is. You know, I'm sure the citizens, the American citizens that works at the embassy, they can easily be moved to different embassies. You know, they can go work in South Africa. They can, you know, get dispersed and go work at different countries. But poor for Basotho who actually works there, they have people that does the lawn, the garden, the freaking security. I mean, they're losing the jobs. They're gonna lose jobs. Like, let's really talk about it. They're gonna lose jobs. But they're closing it allegedly. It's not Lesotho only. Some other countries, Gabon, Eritrea, I know it's about like 6-7 countries where they are considering shutting down the embassies, and we're part of that. But either way, people, I just wanted to talk about that, and we're gonna leave it right here. I will see you guys with another video next time. Just go ahead and hit the like, hit the share if you feel like doing that. Peace out.